Spoštovani vsi prisotni.
Dear participants, I am very pleased to see such a high number of participants today. I think that your presence here testifies of the will of the energy sector in the Republic of Slovenia and also abroad to find solutions to their problems. I welcome the representatives of the Slovenian afternoon. We can expect the State Secretary to take part in the conference. So, dear guests, allow me to congratulate Dr. Žlahtić at the very beginning to manage to attract such a distinguished corps of speakers today. It is one of the rare opportunities that we have to exchange our views. That is why the energy policy consideration is the title of this conference. I'm convinced that energy is one of the leading competitive advantages of the Republic of Slovenia for the future, especially if we consider the crisis that we find ourselves in at the moment. A few statistical data just to refresh our memory. In Slovenia, the energy sector, considering the relatively low number of inhabitants, employs 11,200 employees, which accounts for 2.6% of the Slovene inhabitants. But it also generates 15% of the Slovenian GDP, which is, in concrete terms, about 17 billion euro. So this is quite a good result. So in the past, we have managed to work together, and we can now work based on our experience. So the energy sector can be considered as one of the key development priorities for the industry of Slovenia. Now, if we think about energy policy in Slovenia, an important message is that today we have an opportunity to exchange experience in Slovenia, in Europe. We can implement our policy considerations through the legislative framework, and we would very much like to pass forward our message to the representatives of the Slovenian government. We would very much like to see the Energy Act to be adopted, because it would implement some 10 directives and 6 regulations. So I think it would very much go hand in hand with the requirements of the EU. So today we have the opportunity to see what is the state of affairs. Are we heading towards the right direction? And is the energy sector really as prosperous and promising as we think it is? I believe that a high amount of knowledge is incorporated in the energy sector in every field, in the field of generation and in the field of scientific institutions and faculties, universities. And I think when it comes to development components, we always come across investment and hindrances towards investment. So we need a good program backed with feasibility study, which should demonstrate an adequate return on investment. So this should be a leading principle of all development projects in Slovenia. If a feasibility study shows good potential, good results, then financial resources should not be a problem. In Slovenia, of course, financial resources are limited. Finding the adequate financial resources is a very demanding task. What is also important, however, is to secure credit potentials. It is not only enough to think about the guarantees issued by the state. There are other opportunities, other guarantees available, and they need to be considered if we speak about the implementation of our projects. Another problem is also finding the right spatial solution and obtaining the environmental consent. The procedures to obtain an environmental consent are very lengthy. I should say over too lengthy. I would like to see a different base being given to the energy sector when it comes to finding the solutions for energy infrastructure. So I think that this is also one of the topics that should be discussed today. I know that development potential is huge. Of course, projects is very demanding, but this is linked to all the programs that need to be of a high quality, of a high standard, and if we manage to find such programs, it will be easier to make the decisions that await us. I wish you all a pleasant conference, successful deliberations, and I hope that we will be able to see where we stand today in Slovenia and in Europe. Thank you.